maybe the last thing you ever do right. You worry about how it always sounds so long ago. You can't see it starting over again. And don't we know it's rough, but we're not quite set it behind. Tell me if you're awake. Can I talk to you again? Tell me what's the mistakes that have made us only friends. Now I notice how you don't stay anyways. Don't you wait to come back. 'Cause I've been gone a long time and you never knew. You worry about how it always sounds so long ago. You can't see it starting over again. And don't we know it's wrong, but we're not quite set it behind. Tell me if you're awake. Can I talk to you again? Tell me what's the mistakes that have made us only friends. Now I notice how you don't stay anyways.
Oh, we've only done 3 races, but yeah, 2/3 of them. Yep, I'm working on it, trying to figure out what that is caused that problem. We're working this out, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get that going here. They can hear me, but they can't hear you guys. I'm trying to figure out why that is. Because I'm showing it, they should be hearing you guys. Go. No, it's the new Go XLR, but we're working on it. We had just had this working the other day. Give me a count, guys. No, still not hearing you guys. Well, we're working on it, ladies and gentlemen, and I apologize. You guys are hearing iRacing, but we are definitely working on it. How about now? Check it out, dude.
Let me
testing one.
There we go.
Testing.
I think we're good now.
All right, sweet. All right, everyone. Sorry about that.
It was a routing table issue. We fixed it.
Yeah.
All right, we got some audio now.
We do. That's good. So, welcome everyone. This is the Ariah Swift Lifestyle Pro Series here, live from Las Vegas for the Roll the Dice 165. I am Ernest Levy, your lead announcer. And joining me is Jacob Bell, and the voice you just heard was our producer, Harold Darner. Great job, Harold, on fixing the audio issue. Other than that, how's it going, guys?
Well, good, man. I feel like we're running through the pre-show again, but absolutely, we are looking forward to tonight's race. We got a few things we can touch on once again, I guess, since we already mentioned it, but I don't think anybody was able to hear us. So yeah, leading into tonight, we just talked about Hunter mentioned Matthew Robinson obviously seems to be the one to beat as we look at our playoff picture. The Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. One of the things I did mention to Hunter is that Matthew Robinson has actually led the most laps in all 3 races so far this season, including Daytona.
Yeah, Daytona was won by none other than Nick Halda. You see there, number 2 in the points with that little A next to his name, solidifying that he's won a race and is a part of the Swift Lifestyle playoffs in Ariah. Although it is early, Robinson's already looking at 3 wins in a row. He won the last 2 races when we went to Homestead in Iowa, and he could cap it off with another win on a 1.5 miles at Las Vegas.
We were talking about that cutoff line. You still see it with Caleb Steimer in that 12th spot. Forrest Smith right behind him, only 1 point back, and then Rick Ward, Jordan Berry, Ryan Swan, James Shane Wolf, Gary Lewis. A lot of those guys are going to be able to throw themselves into the winners column at virtually any track we go to. So I think that's going to be something to keep an eye on the deeper we get into the season as well.
You also look at Forrest. He's only participated in the last 2 races. He wasn't even in the league when we were at Daytona.
No, He's gotten top 5 in one of them and top 10 in both races. So a strong showing from Ford Smith. Only 1 point out of that top 12 cutoff. And just looking through the chat, have a Trevor Williams fan racing for a win. Thanks for the follow. Watching Trevor Williams from Towanda, Pennsylvania. Trevor Williams is currently 4th on the practice chart right now.
Sitting in the pits right now, yeah.
Trevor, another one of those guys who we're going to have to watch throughout the season. Right now, you don't see him on the screen there for our playoff picture. He's actually 21st, Hunter, so he's just outside of that top 20. But obviously tonight, I think he'll make his way inside that playoff picture, and he'll have a chance to get himself into the championship playoffs that we got going on when we get down to the end of the season here. But practice is underway. You see a great shot there. The car is working down the back straightaway. Only a minute and a half left until we begin qualifying.
Yeah, and just point out really quick for Dominic DeLeo. He's 3rd on the practice chart right now. You see on the left-hand side, just a spot above Trevor Williams. But practice, once again, being led by none other than Sean Corcoran in the number 22.
And Sean's been quick. He just hasn't been able to really put a complete race together from start to finish as he gets a little contact there in practice. But I know Sean's definitely been somebody to keep our eyes on. We know there's speed in that 22 car. Another one of these guys, the 21, you touched on him a little bit ago, Dominic DeLeo, another one of those guys who just continues to get better and better each and every week. I think he's been practicing. He's been putting on the laps. I think he's, it's awesome to see these guys really taking this series seriously and competitively, and that's the best of racing, and that's exactly why we do this. So it's awesome to see Dominic, as well as these other 27 drivers that we have alongside him for tonight's race.
And while we're at it, let's take a look at the weather for tonight's race presented by Lottie'sTravelWorld.com. It's the Roll the Dice 165. Clear skies in Las Vegas, air temp 73, track temp 81, humidity at a calm 19%, and it's very windy, 13 mile an hour the winds from the northwest. Practice is about to wrap up here.
Wind is something that we're going to have to keep an eye on to see if that begins to pick up more and more. That'll really upset the handling and the balance of these race cars. But yeah, there we go. Practice is officially over. Sean Corcoran, James Shainwolf, Dominic DeLeo, Trevor Williams, and how about Chase Johnson rounding out the top 5?
No Matthew Robinson in that top 5. P7 for the number 40, but he can get that car rolling at any point during the race. So only time will tell. And we are going to take in our 10-minute qualifying session. Each driver will have 2 laps to go around the track. If you touch the wall with your fingertip, the lap will not count, and you'll have to rely on your second lap. And if you do it on your second lap, well, you're kind of scared.
Yeah, definitely want to keep that car clean. Any incident point disallows the lap time, so it'll be difficult with these guys making their qualifying laps. And as we see, the 19 of Rick Christensen is going to be the first on track.
Yep, Rick Christensen in the number 19. He's currently 4th in the points, 2nd amongst those who have yet to win a race. The first being the number 28 of Eli Green. Here's Rick Christensen going through turns 3 and 4. Going to take the green flag lap this time.
Rick is one of those guys who we've seen week in and week out, qualifies extremely well, and he'll admit it. He's very self-critical of himself, and the one weakness, if there has been in this 19 car all season long, has been the restarts. We see him qualify well. We see him have good long-run pace. It's just can't seem to get the restarts down and get to where he needs to be in a hurry as far as the early parts of the runs, but we'll see if he can fix that tonight and maybe get himself into the win column.
Yeah, he very well could. I mean, he's done a pretty good job so far throughout the year in finishing order, and just a little bit there missing in order to get that win. So he's P2 on our chart right now.
Philip Steimer to the top in the number 18, actually an affiliate teammate to Rick Christensen there, so that's a good qualifying effort from the young man that we see at the top of the charts right now. Here's Adam Capps. He's working his 2nd lap now in the number 55 for Audible Racing. He's going to hit the stripe. And it looks like he does not pick up, but he picks up just a little bit. Moves up to 3rd.
Oh, there's the 8 of Chris Knight there.
Knight from Morristown, Tennessee. It's his first start of the season, Hunter. I kind of wanted to touch on Chris. He actually has been recovering from surgery the first 3 weeks of the season, not able to get comfortably into the sim rig and put together a complete race. But instead, he's actually been on top of the pit box in the number 2 of Eric Shugart. Tonight, though, he's making his first start of the season and plans on running the rest of the season. So we wish all the best for the number 8 driver, Chris Knight, and hope to see him run very, very well tonight and the rest of the year.
Yeah, it's hoping for the best for Mr. Knight, although it looks like his car is really loose right now.
Right now, it's got him 17th on the charts out of the 18 drivers that have taken time. Now it's going to move him back down to 18th there. How about Forrest Smith? His second lap, he's going to pick up quite a bit. Go to second on the top of the charts with Eli Green, the pole sitter currently.
Yep, Eli Green is currently second in points, while first amongst drivers without a win. He has kind of been second fiddle to Matthew Robinson all year long, but with this pole run, potential pole run, could change tonight. There's Rick Ward in the number 34.
Still have about 6 drivers that have yet to make a time. Obviously, you see Rick Ward there. How about Sean Corcoran now, the 22 going to the top of the charts? That's a good lap time there for him. And we've seen the speed in that car. We touched on it earlier on all season long. He just needs to put the whole race together. Up in victory lane as the 34 comes by to complete his lap time. He'll pick up a little bit and move up to 18th, I believe, there on the charts. And now Jordan Hurley. How about last week's pole winner?
Yeah, Jordan Hurley made his first start at Iowa in the Uriah Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. Made his first start last week. Kind of fell off after that, led a lap, and just decided to hang out the back. And you called it earlier in the race, just saving his tires for the very end. And, you know, he ended up getting a really good finish out of it. Don't know if he can go 2 for 2 here with that lap from Corcoran, but, well, we'll see.
Here comes Ryan Swan now, the Rick's Hot Sauce number 9 machine as he's working out of turn 4. We'll see if he's able to put together a quick lap time as he crosses the stripe. I believe that's going to be the beginning of his first lap, actually. No, it's actually the start of his second lap, Hunter. So that's one of the instances that you touched on a little bit earlier. If you get any kind of contact, any incident points, it disallows your first lap. And that's exactly what we saw with the 9. So he's going to have to rely heavily on this second lap.
Hurley going to the top in the 0-2. Wow. Could he go 2 for 2 in his first 2 races in the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series?
Swan down to the stripe.
Just watching there, the 00 JJ Wang, currently 7th on our chart. Ryan Swan 16th. Here comes Dustin Carroll in the 92, coming across the line. Not sure if this is his green flag lap or start of his second lap.
Try to find that for you real quick. It is the start of his first lap.
Okay. It's another audible driver. Now looking through our charts right here, Matthew Robinson 17th.
And that's his final results as well, both of his lap times. As we see Dustin Carroll now working out a turn 4 to come down to the stripe, see where he ends up after his first lap. Put him 19th with a 30.861. Carroll actually a driver for Vader Motorsports alongside teammate Jeremy Horn there. And you see Bobby Tinch on your screen now.
Kind of working with the idea there with Matthew Robinson back in the 18th spot. This is a different type of racetrack than he's been on thus far. Pretty much between Homestead and Iowa, the tracks are more of a flat system. This is the first D-shape oval we've gone to the 1.5. So a different type of racing here. You might not have a handle on the car.
Solid lap for the 92, who just finished his second trip around the racetrack. He's going to move to 11th now on the charts for Dustin Carroll. Bobby Tinch settled in 17th. Only 2 drivers yet to take a time. It's the 81 of Jeremy Horn and the 33 of Brian Dixon. We'll have to see if those guys have already been on track. 81 has not, and neither has the 33. So we'll see if those 2 decide to post a lap time. Other than that, pretty quiet track right now, Hunter.
Very quiet indeed, and it's looking like that 0-2 of Jordan Hurley on the top of the charts. Looking like he'll get pole for the second straight race.
That comes that bonus point. So to start, later on in the season, you got to find a way to make up those points. That's a great way to do it, by winning the poles in the first 2 races.
Oh, absolutely. It helps out a ton, especially with him, just starting in the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series on the 3rd race of the season. So this is his 2nd race of the year. Meanwhile, for some drivers, it'll be their 4th race on the year.
And through the practice time, still don't see any action from the 33 or the 81. Potentially not a plan to qualify in those guys, or they could be waiting till the very last second, which honestly, Hunter, if I was one of these guys right now, it's probably what I would do. I'd wait till that sun gets to as low as possible point so that I could go out and make my lap time.
Now, what lane would you want to run here? Because we saw drivers run the top, the middle, the bottom. Just like Iowa and Homestead, you can run any lane at this track, seems like.
I would probably run that top side of the racetrack on lap number 1 and just try to build up as much speed as possible before really dropping it down to the bottom, almost similar to restrictor plate.
Yep. I would agree. I would like running the top here, not only at Las Vegas, but also at Homestead, and Iowa tend to run the bottom. But yeah, we saw the O2 of Hurley. They're rocking the top, and Corcoran also. So they're currently our top 2 on the track. Just over 2 minutes left for those last 2 drivers to put up a lap time. Now, we've seen this in other series too, including the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series, where drivers, they have a disregard for qualifying and then they just go straight into the race, and that could either hurt you or it could help you.
Yeah, and we'll have to see how it all plays out. Once we get to the drop of the green flag, things will change certainly quite a bit and in a quick hurry. But as for the moment, Jordan Hurley right now at the top of the charts. Let's get a chance to go through some of our Twitch chatters we got out there tonight. Really appreciate everybody tuning in and supporting the channel and watching these guys. They're going to put on a great show for you guys. We got R. Stein, rooting on the number 18. Back 56 is frustrated with his qualifying run. I believe that's Ryan Swan in the 9. Obviously, Cushy's out there, our commentator on Tuesdays and Thursday nights. So appreciate him checking out the channel with us. Checking out the broadcast for tonight as well.
Yep, indeed. We appreciate all the support, all the viewers, the followers, and the subscribers to this Twitch channel. For commercial-free coverage, you can subscribe to the Arrive Twitch channel.
Got a late entry here. The 33 is on track. He's going to try to make a qualifying run. He actually just finished his first lap. It's going to be a 31.77 for Brian Dixon. It's going to move him to 26 for the moment, and he's working lap number 2 now.
Brian Dixon, one of those late scalpers. I don't even know if that's a word. Scapler.
Maybe stragglers? Is that what you meant?
Yes. Stragglers. I don't know why I thought scalpers. As he comes down the front stretch and crosses the line, this will either hurt him or help him on his starting position.
At the same lap.
Yeah.
He'll remain the same in 26.
P26.
Got 28 drivers that are going to start. Sorry to cut you off there.
No, you're good. 27 qualifying. The only one to not put a lap down was the 81 of Jeremy Horn. All right, here we go. Here's your starting lineup on the left side of your screen there. Starting in row number 1, we'll have the pole sitter for the second straight race, Jordan Hurley in the 02, and then starting second, the fastest driver in practice, the 22 is Sean Corcoran.
And we got Eli Green alongside Chase Johnson in row 2. And Hunter, I'm going to let you take us through the field real quick as I got to pop into the driver's meeting for one quick second.
Oh, that's all good. In row number 3, it'll be the 84 of Forrest Smith, and then alongside him, the 19 of Rick Christensen. Row number 4, it'll be the 00 of JJ Wang, and alongside him, the 18 of Caleb Steimer. Row number 5 will be Trevor Williams, and then alongside him, Nolan Neiman in the 10th spot. Does it for row 5. In row number 6, we'll have Dustin Carroll in the 92, followed by Kevin Hayes in the 3. Oh, Jake's still not here, so I will go on again. Row number 7, it'll be Brandon Heatrick, and alongside him, Michael Leip, making another return to the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. In the next row, row number 8, it'll be fan favorite Dominic DeLeo in the number 21, and alongside him, 57 of Jordan Berry. Row number 9, we'll have the 66 of Bobby Tinch, and alongside him, Ryan Swan in the 9. Row number 10, it'll be Matthew Robinson, the fastest car all season, starting deep in the pack in 19th, and alongside him, Daytona winner Nick Halda in the 87. In row number 11, it'll be Adam Capps in the 55, and alongside him, James Shanewolf, also starting deep in the 22nd spot. In the next row, row 12, it'll be Rick Ward in the 34, and alongside him, Eric Shugart in the number 2. Row number 13, it'll be Gary Lewis in the 69, and alongside him, Brian Dixon in the 33. And in the last row, it'll be Chris Knight in the 8 and Jeremy Horn in the 81.
Back.
Just finished it. So that's all 28 drivers for you here tonight at Las Vegas for the Roll the Dice 165, 110 laps on this 1.5 mile track. So they're going through the turns right now. 20 degrees of banking. They'll go down the backstretch with the lowest degree of 3, and then they'll come along the front stretch for the green flag at 9 degrees of banking.
We're gonna have an awesome race here tonight, Hunter. I'm really excited. It's one of my favorite racetracks on the schedule, and I'm looking forward to the show these guys are gonna put on. Also, let's ask the Twitch chat as well as you guys, who is your pick to win tonight? Put it down in the Twitch chat, and we'll get to you, and we'll get a chance to pick our drivers. I'm gonna go ahead and steal a pick real quick first. I'm gonna go with the number 83 of Chase Johnson.
Oh, I'm gonna go with that 84 of Forrest Smith. I like the way he's driving this year, and I think he gets it done. Harold, any picks?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Sean Corcoran, the number 22. I think he's gonna put it in today.
Sean Corcoran is the pick for Mr. Harold Darner.
As we're working through turn 4 here, we're gonna try to get our camera over to that for the start of the race. Hunter Sleppy.
Here we go. That's me. Green flag is in the air. We're underway at Vegas.
Really off to a great start.
Yeah. Field spreading out quite a bit. You see the O2 lead the pack through turns 1 and 2. So they're working their way through 3 and 4. Looks like the O2 of Hurley's going to lead the first lap. Right behind him is the 28 of Eli Green. And looking through the chat, our very own Ken Cushwa, better known as Cushy, said he's going with James Shanewolf, just starting deep in the field, the deepest of all our picks.
Did you see how sideways the number 28 got there coming through turn 4? These guys are going to be slipping and sliding all over the racetrack, and especially early on in the run on these cold tires. Right now, though, Eli Green does not have it, easy right now. He's got the number 84 and 83 on his back bumper.
Yeah, that's the 84 of Forrest Smith, and then the 83 of Chase Johnson right behind him. Looks like they're going side by side for third, along with the battle for fifth between Caleb Steimer and Rick Christensen.
Front, Jordan Hurley puts down one of the quickest lap times.
Well, actually, Jeremy Horn just put down the fastest lap time. Looks like he didn't need to qualify after all. Right behind him, though, or the O2 of Hurley, is the 28 of Green. He's caught up to that bumper after a miscue on the first lap, coming off at turn 4. This time they're side by side. Oh, nope, not quite just yet. Green gonna stay tucked in behind the O2. Peeks his nose to the inside there. Side by side when they come off turn 2. Hurley on the top, Green on the bottom. Right now it looks like Green has the edge as they're gonna work their way through turn 3, and no fight put up from Hurley. Oh, the caution's out. Maybe that's why there was no fight from the O2 of Hurley. Let's get our one to go replay here. Looking like that's the
66, I think I saw involved. Bobby Tinch, he's slow on the backstretch.
Looks like Rick Ward might have been involved also. Oh, the wreck happened in front of these guys. Oh! All right. There you see the 66 of Bobby Tinch battling alongside Brandon Heatrick. This was back around the battle for 12th and 13th. See, he clipped the wall there going into turn 1, and that set him sideways there. You see the 21 of DeLeo keeping it straight. And the 66 comes off the wall and nowhere to go there.
Sorry, I'm back. But yeah, the 66, tough break, man, early on in this race.
Looks like that was the 69 Gary Lewis and the 34 Rick Ward that clipped into Bobby Tinch as he was keeping it off the wall, or trying to get off the wall. But when the caution came out, the leader shows Eli Green in front. So that side-by-side battle you saw on the backstretch was the difference maker in who got the lead for when the caution came out. You see a good bit of drivers now making their pit stops very early to be making pit stops. Would assume would just be fuel only, or those involved in the caution, just a little bit of a repair to their car because there are no resets or fresh sets of cars. So if you got damage on it, you have the option to repair it, or you can keep up with it depending on how bad your damage is.
Not really any takers on the pit road here, so we'll have to watch these guys and see how the strategy plays out. Hunter, we've had a strategy race almost every single night, it seems like, in these area races.
Yeah, it does seem like that, and we just gotta It's got a subscriber from 18's mom.
Yep, that's
Show
Caleb.
number
It must
18.
be Caleb Stiver's mom.
I would assume so.
There's Caleb's car.
Subscription with Twitch Prime. We appreciate the sub. 18's mom.
She'll be watching the Caleb Steimer machine, who's running 6 right now. Really, really strong qualifying run for him. He actually started in the 8th spot, so he's moved up 2 spots already.
Absolutely.
That Iron Tracks number 18. So a solid night for him, and we appreciate the subscription as well. As you see Infinite logo on the side of that car. How about right in front of him is Rick Christensen, another Infinite car, and right behind him is JJ Wang, the 3rd Infinite car. So Infinite Gaming looking pretty strong early on here.
Absolutely, and one driver who's not looking strong, although it's early in the running, Sean Corcoran. He's fallen back to 9th after starting 2nd on that restart.
And as these guys are already gotten the 1-to-go signal, so we will get the green flag next time around. I wanted to mention, Hunter, that restart was actually under review there for a while between the admin and the front two cars specifically about a possible lane change violation. Those guys went onto the apron. Initially, it was called a black flag. After a little further review and looking through the rule book, he actually took away that penalty. So those drivers almost were about to come down pit road and serve a penalty before that caution came out. That allowed the admin a little extra time to review, so no penalties.
No penalties indeed. That's music to everyone's ears. So we did have some takers that time by. Looked like it was fuel only for Jeremy Horn and Adam Capps, and looked like some repair for Rick Ward and Gary Lewis involved in that accident. I think Bobby Tinch also came down pit road to fix his damage, although I don't see him on the racetrack right now.
You guys are working through 3 and 4. As soon as that pace truck hits the left-hand turn onto pit lane and gets below that white line, these guys are free to fire. And our race leader is going to be the 28 of Eli Green now. He's going to lead us to this restart. The pace truck is in, and he is on the gas pedal. We're green once again at Las Vegas.
Great jump that time from the 28 of Green. I mean, he's already got a comfortable gap between him and the 02 of Jordan Hurley. Back there, Caleb Steimer moved up to the 5th spot.
Oh, looked like we almost had some contact there further back in the pack. Got nervous for a second.
Yeah, just that little pack back there. So you got some 3 wide action there in the middle of the pack.
Out the 84, Forrest Smith, your pick, Hunter. He's making you look smart early on here. He's working the outside of Jordan Hurley for 2nd. That 84, I think he's a man on a mission this week.
Yeah, I mean, he passed the 02 on the outside. It looks like he's got a strong car early on.
He
back
started
there,
5th.
you see, car in the wall. Got a car that smacked the wall coming out of turn 2.
I get a number there for you.
Might have been the 3 of Hayes.
Yeah, it's the 3 of Kevin Hayes. He's actually still in the outside wall going through turn 3 and 4. He's trying to get a chance to pull it down off the wall. He does so now, but obviously a big hit there for him, but he's able to continue on. Up front, Eli Green now the current leader over Forrest Smith, Jordan Hurley. How about Trevor Williams up to 4th already? He started 9th.
Indeed, Trevor Williams with a strong run, but back there they are door to door for what looks like about the 5th or 6th spot on the track. It's back between Johnson and Christensen. So it looked like the 1 of Trevor Williams was trying to make a move on the 02 of Hurley. Yep, side by side there. This is the gaggle of cars right here.
Yeah.
Back towards the back half of the pack. This is from 5th on back as they're looking 3 wide going in the corner here.
These guys are all under a blanket. I mean, you got it all the way from looks like that's Rick Christensen up front.
Steimer almost smacked the wall coming out of turn 2.
This is 5th place all the way back to about 19th place. There's literally 14 cars in a blanket right now.
Some good clean racing right now. Oh, I spoke too soon. That's the 57 of Jordan Berry, just smacked into the outside wall. Caution comes out for the 2nd time on lap number 12. Think it jinxed it.
You know, I was going to say real quick, we'll get a chance at a replay here. Obviously not good, right, to get involved in a wreck this early, but Jordan Berry did a good job of keeping that thing out of the racetrack. Once he got turned around there, he held the brake and kept it on the outside wall and you know, avoided coming across the track into other people. So yeah, he's going to be pretty tore up. Looks like the back end hit pretty hard, but I think a lot of his competitors are going to be extremely happy that he was able to hold the brake.
We're going to take a look at what happened here, presented by Northern Capital. See, there's some side-by-side racing up there. Looks like they just checked up on the bottom, and it looked like the 40 Robinson just clipped the back of them.
Right here's what I was talking about. You see that car just comes to rest on the top side of the racetrack, never even left the top lane. So obviously it's not good when you get wrecked like that and you got a tore up race car, but from could have been a lot worse for Jordan Berry. So they'll take that car to pit lane. We'll see if he's able to get that thing fixed. Obviously the rear bumper we saw hanging off, but second caution of the race already, Hunter, pretty early on.
Yeah, indeed, it is early. That caution was brought to you by Northern Capital, or the replay was brought to you by Northern Capital, not the caution. We would like to give a big thank you to Russ and Steve Anderson for their support of the Araya series and in their own Northern Capital Truck series. So here's a quick look at our race recap presented by Elwood Design. Eli Green, although early on, 13 laps in, has led 9 of those laps. We've had our second caution now for what will be 5 laps. 28 drivers in the field. Jeremy Horn so far still with the fastest lap at a 30.755. And Jeremy Horn was the one driver who did not qualify.
Actually on pit road right now too. There's actually a bunch of cars on pit road. Jeremy Horn, see the 8 of Chris Knight, the 69 of Gary Lewis, the 31 of James Shainwolf. I mean, we got pretty much everybody with an Audible Entertainment logo on their race cars in pit lane.
It looks like about 12 drivers are on pit road. From 16th on back, everyone's made a pit stop.
Dominic DeLeo as well. Obviously, Audible Entertainment, the sponsor of the Audible Racing Team, which is fielding 2 drivers currently. Those 2 drivers are Adam Capps and James Shainwolf. They also got an affiliate team of some sorts called Vader Motorsports, and that's the 92 of Dustin Carroll and the 81 of Jeremy Horn, who we were talking about having the fastest lap time already. So those 4 cars alone have Audible Entertainment on their race cars, and somewhat of a sponsorship as well with One Mind to Design in some form. So we'll get a good chance, I think, to see Audible Entertainment on a lot of these race cars up front. But currently, Eli Green showing the way. Forrest Smith started 5th. He's up to 2nd. Trevor Williams, he started 9th. He's up to 3rd. So a lot of comers and goers early on here at Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And I'd say a good bit of the field has made pit stops so far. From about top 14, they have yet to pit, and then the back 14, they have all made pit stops at some point during the race.
Jake, since you drive on the truck series and the Cup series, lap 14 taking a set of tires, kind of early.
I would agree that is pretty early, but with the condensed races we kind of have now, obviously I can't say condensed, they're just a lot shorter than they were initially supposed to be. So 110 laps, you kind of would split it up into quarters with the 3 sets of tires you have, so you could come in about every 27 laps or so. So it is a little early. I don't think it's completely a stretch to come in and get that set. But a lot of times you'll see a lot of these guys save a set of tires for the end of the race, and if they don't get that caution, they're kind of left over with that set that they never used. So I don't know. I wouldn't say it's too early. The one thing I would be concerned with is with the 2 quick cautions we've had, they haven't had a lot of green flag laps in their tires. So I don't know if the wear is there necessarily to come in and take that set already. I would agree with you, Harold. It is a little early.
You just saw in the background there, that was the 40 of Robinson going to the rear. He got the EOL for causing that last caution. And another thing, Jake, since there's only 3 tire sets, correct?
There's only 3 sets of tires in the pits.
Okay. Yep. Splitting it into thirds, not quarters.
You would do quarters because if you pit every 27, like, I don't know how to explain it, but it would be
you get to change your tires 3 times, which means you could do it in quarters. But I would say in thirds is what you're going to see most of these drivers do, because they're going to want to save that set of tires for a late caution. That's what we've been seeing so far in Aria in all the series, pretty much them trying to hold 1 set of tires for a late race caution.
Speaking of 3,
flag, and
this was
Eli
the 3rd time
with
we've green.
I was going to say, though, so basically why you split it into quarters is because you have 3 pit stops. Split it into corners, you don't pit on lap 0 technically, so that counts as one of the pit stops you're thinking of. So that's why it splits into quarters instead of thirds. If you split into thirds, you only come down pit road twice. Makes sense.
Correct. Meanwhile, Eli Green continues to lead, and he's got the 02 of Jordan Hurley behind him. He took that 2nd spot away from Forrest Smith. He's fallen back to 4th on the restart. We got some, oh my God, that almost looked like 4 wide off the corner. Oh man,
way down on the racetrack was JJ Wang in the 00 right behind Caleb Steimer. The white cars there on the bottom side of the track, I get confused when you look at the 83, the 18, the 00. They're all very similar looking paint schemes with white and a little bit of blue. Obviously, they kind of settle it out right now. 3 wide further back in the pack. These guys are racing all over the place, man. It's hard to keep up.
Absolutely. There you see the 31 car there trying to make a move.
He does. Pretty aggressive from James Shanewolf. He's going to take it 3 wide on the bottom, clear the 87, and move back inside the top 20. He goes again. James Shanewolf is really racing up towards the front right now. The 31 car, he is moving very quick in and out of traffic up towards the front. Look at the 12 of Brandon Heatrick on the apron. Does a good job slowing that thing down to keep it from collecting a bunch of cars. Last his lap. Guess who it was, Hunter?
James Shanewolf. He's making the most out of those fresh sets of tires that he just put on after coming down pit road on our most recent caution. So you see that's the 12 of Brandon Heatrick.
Whoa!
Whoa! It's close. Close racing everywhere. So that's the 57 of Jordan Berry.
Who too? Jordan Hurley's in the wall. He's able to corral it and take it back down onto the racetrack, but he hit it pretty good there.
Yep. There you see Hurley on the outside there. And we've seen this a couple of times where you get in that wall and it's like glue. You're stuck to it.
He was second, Hunter, a lap ago, and now he's outside the top 10 just like that.
Gotta take care of the car. Still only 21 laps down. Still got well over, well under 90 laps to go now.
Corcoran, listening on the radio, with all the aggressive racing he was seeing, he chimed in and he said, wow, it must be raining in the forecast or something.
Could be a dust storm blowing at any moment.
These guys trying to get to the front in the hurry, and that's exactly what James Shanewolf has done already, up to 8th now. He was one of the cars restarting well outside the top 20.
We'll move him up to P7. You just saw him there passing the 18 of Steimer on the front stretch. Still battling back here.
Now, just to chime in on James Shanewolf, he had a 14.7 pit stop. Them are new tires.
That definitely was a set of tires there. Like you mentioned, it is early, but if you put them to good use like he's trying to do, it might be worth it. Do you see the number 1 there, Trevor Williams? We talked about it. He started 9th. He moved up front in a hurry. He's running 2nd, but he's got company on it.
He's about to have more company with Shanewolf closing in and passing Forrest Smith now for the 6th spot. But yeah, the one of Williams has got a train of cars behind him. It's Rick Christensen, Nolan Neiman, and Michael Light in the top 5. Oh, looked like a car smacked the wall back there coming out of 2. Everybody keeping it straight.
I think we got a wreck. I'm trying to look to see if I can find it. Caution is out. It's in the back. It's the 92 of Dustin Carroll.
Yeah, Dustin Carroll in the 92. Get a look at it here with our one-to-go replay. So you see the bright neon number 92 there. Behind the 87 of Nick Halda.
We've had more cautions in the first 24 laps than we've had all season in this series. I think it was coming into 3 and 4. So this is coming out of 2 here. He saw 92 hit the wall, as Hunter mentioned there, as we were heading down the back straightaway, and then just came down and hooked the 2 shoe guard.
Yeah, nowhere to go for
was the wall. That's the wall glue. He pulled it off that wall, and that's when it snapped.
Was that Gary Lewis that had I'm trying to think of what car that was. It might have been Brian Dixon. There was a car there that nearly got into the back of what looked like the 92 or the 2. It was one of them.
You see the 90. You see the 92 here is up on that wall, and right. I bet if we looked at his wheel, he's turning hard to the left right now.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, just trying to feel it off.
And then that's when he pulls down.
Yep.
Our cars
Right
on pit
there.
road right now, is you see them stacking up towards the back of the field, but our rookies came in. Virtually every single driver has came down to get at least fuel, possibly a set of tires. The 02 is in, the 28 is in. Everybody outside the top 4.
Yep. The one driver I see that has yet to make a pit stop. It looks like the 22 is Sean Corcoran. Still in the he's up to the 2nd spot now after everyone's pitted, but yeah, most of the field pitting. Yep. saving it for the long run, yeah. This race could be a caution fest, as we all know cautions breed cautions, and that might be the way Point 2 of Corcoran proceeds this. So
either way you slice it, it's not a bad move to come in and already have taken a set of tires, I don't think, now for James Shainwolf. Because of that caution, not only did he get track position, but he's also got a little bit of a buffer of about 3 other cars behind him before he even gets to the drivers with the freshest tires that are going to be restarting 5th on back. So not a bad move, and not to mention you get up front and get to lead a lap and get a bonus point.
Yep, that is very true. So we're 25 laps into our 110 lap main event. The roll the dice, 165. We'll be right back. Going to take a quick commercial break. You won't miss a thing. And we'd like to botch that. We would like to welcome those who have subscribed to the Ride Twitch channel for our commercial-free coverage. We appreciate you guys for following along and subbing for commercial-free coverage. Still under yellow here. Looks like we're going to go another lap around under caution before we get the one to go.
Shocked they didn't get the one to go there, but I think with all the drivers hitting pit road and all the cautions we've already seen, it might not be the worst thing to get these drivers to settle down for a lap or two. Also, anytime there's a driver who's a lap down or multiple laps down, it'll always extend the caution by 1 lap to allow either wave arounds or free pass positions. So that's why we didn't get the 1 to green there, but they're going to get it this time by James Shainwolf, our leader. We just saw him take a set of tires around lap 14. He was one of the few drivers to do so, and then he sliced right through the field, got up inside the top 10. Another caution came out. A lot of the other guys came down in pit road. So Hunter documented it, though. Sean Corcoran in second, the only driver we haven't seen on pit road.
Yep. And he's amongst the top 4 who stayed out under that most recent caution. Everyone behind those guys have all made pit stops. Those 3 of the top 4 that have stayed out pitted under the most recent, or the second caution of the race now. Shainwolf, Swan, and Dominic DeLeo. And then in second was Sean Corcoran, who's yet to pit.
We came into tonight, Hunter, asking, who can knock off Robinson. He's looking for 3 in a row. He's led the most laps every race. We haven't really seen him too much other than, he qualified outside the top 15. He's running 16th right now. It's pretty much been a show of the drivers up front who qualified up front. So we saw Eli Green for a long time leading this race, as well as the 02. We saw him lead for a few laps. Now it's gotten handed over to the 31 of James Shainwolf. So I think we're seeing a little bit more parity this race than we thought.
Yeah, very well. This has been quite an interesting battle, side by side, 2 wide, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide, and drivers coming and going through the field. Yeah, so this has been quite an interesting race so far.
A few guys tucking up there at the back of the pack and making sure they're here for the restart. So at the moment, we had 28 drivers start this race. I believe we still have 27 on track. Chris Knight in the number 8, he was involved in one of our earlier cautions. He is retired for the night, or at least he's still on pit road, as well as the 2 of Eric Shugart.
Yep, Eric Shugart, and those 2 are out, then that means we have 26 drivers left, and those 26 are all on the lead lap. There's that hard left turn from the pace truck on the pit road. The green flag's going to fly once more. Will be James Shainwolf leading the way as they go through the front stretch.
Ryan Swan, second car on the bottom, right behind him with a decent restart. Almost gave Shainwolf a little bit of a shot, essentially. He sent him out front. Now Ryan's going to clear for second over Sean Corcoran and Eli Green, who's trying to make quick work to get back up to the top spot.
Yeah, this is going to be the interesting part here, seeing the new tires from the majority of the field, trying to pass the drivers who stayed out on the really old and the not-so-old tires.
Already see it. Eli Green restarted 5th. He's up to 3rd. He's going to try to make, like I said, quick work of these guys. He doesn't want to waste a lot of time. He wants to get out front and set sail. He looks to the bottom now of the number 9 car for second. Meanwhile, Shainwolf trying to grow his lead as much as he can, but move Eli Green into second.
Eli Green, one of those drivers that pitted. There's a car on the backstretch there.
I believe that's Chris Knight there on the bottom side of the racetrack, just getting back out onto the track, letting the leaders go by. Meanwhile, though, the 28 has settled into second, and he's not necessarily caught the 31 in a hurry. He's kind of riding for the moment right behind, or right in front of the 9, I should say, as they're single file through much of the top 5. You have a battle between Rick Christensen and Dominic DeLeo for 5th.
The top 4 always seem to be fine, and then 5th on back, it's just chaos. Although we did miss the 0-2 of Hurley smack into the wall. But other than that, top 4 is the place to be. And then 5th on back, just hope that you don't make a false move.
And right here is what I'm interested to see with the 28 right now. He's moved into 2nd. How quick does he use his fresh tires? Does he try to get up to the James Shane Wolf machine early and try to make that move quickly? Or is he going to ride right now as you see him post the fastest lap? So I guess he's not riding. He's going to try to hunt down that 31.
Sorry, saw the 18 of Caleb Steimer there was running on the transition part of the banking and the apron, and he almost spun it out towards the inside of the racetrack, but he kept it straight. And Eli Green just posted the fastest lap of the race. So yeah, he is a man on a mission right now. It's just a matter of time, it seems like, before he makes a move.
Man on the mission right now is that 22 of Sean Corcoran. Pretty impressive. He hasn't came down pit road yet, and he's working on a pass for 3rd right now at the moment on the bottom side of the racetrack. Him and Ryan Swan are going at it. How low is the 22? Up high is the 9. Up front now, Eli Green closing in a little bit more on the leader of James Shane Wolf.
Corcoran putting up a fight there underneath the 9 of Swan. There's here great shots provided by our producer Harold Darner. Swan's going to hold on to 3rd for the moment, but here comes Christensen on the outside of that was close there. He was on the outside of Corcoran.
I just don't know how long Sean is going to be able to hold on in that 22 without having those fresh tires that a lot of these guys do. I mean, I'd imagine they're going to make quick work of him and start working either the outside of the racetrack, the bottom of the racetrack, wherever. They should be quicker than that 22, but he is putting up a heck of a fight right now, especially considering how old those tires are. He's got 33-lap old tires compared to everyone.
Yep, back here you see the battle for 9th between Caleb Steimer on the outside, Matthew Robinson on the bottom there, and he's got help right behind him. That's 26 of Michael Light, giving him a little boost as they go through 1 and 2.
We see up front now, Eli Green is about as close as he's been to the leader of James Shane Wolf, so I could expect a pass for the lead at any moment here in the next few laps. He's running about a half lane lower, now a full lane lower as they work through turn 4, and he's going to get underneath him.
The 28 of Eli Green passes the 31 of Shane Wolf with ease. He'll lead that lap and complete the pass. New leader, Eli Green in the 28.
I don't think he'll be looking back too long here. I think he'll be trying to set sail and get away from the 31. And with the about 10 lap fresher tires that he does have, that shouldn't be too difficult of a task for him. Right now, though, Rick Christensen moving into 3rd. And let's give a shout out to our 4th place car, Nolan Neiman in that 15. Haven't heard much from him this season, though, Hunter, but he's in the playoff picture. He's trying to make his way into the top 12, and he's doing it right now with a 4th place run at Las Vegas.
He's staying out of trouble in that pack behind him as once again 5th on back. They're 3 wide on the front stretch right here. That's the 1 of Trevor Williams there, and right behind him is J.J. Wang trying to hold off Matthew Robinson, Ryan Swan, and Michael Lipe. As you just see ducking in all sorts of, there goes J.J. Wang. There on the bottom, that's for the 5th spot. You just see all sorts of racing back here. Just cars ducking in and out, making abrupt moves, nearly clipping the wall, just on edge racing.
Remember, we saw Ryan Swan running 2nd at the beginning of this restart. He's all the way back to 10th already, and he's still getting worked on now from a lot of these guys who came down and got those fresher tires.
It might hurt him now, but at the very end of this race, it could help him and improve his finish if he's there at the end.
With that extra set of tires, we'll have to see. I mean, right now, Sean Corcoran's got an extra set over the people who have an extra set of tires, so he's looking in pretty good shape if he's able to catch some cautions here at the end. But right now, we saw the 22 running top 5. That's not the case anymore. He's well outside the top 10.
You see it's a dogfight now for the 10th spot. It's single filed up. There you see the 02 of Jordan Hurley going underneath the 9 of Swan. This is for the 10th spot. Caleb Steimer there right behind him, trying to give him a little bit of a boost as they go down the backstretch. 02 going to clear the 9, and it looks like the 18 trying to do the same. So he'll do it.
"39 laps in now. Eli Green with a commanding lead out front with the freshest tires on the track. He's almost got a 2nd advantage. We see the 19 of Rick Christensen now closing in on James Shane Wolf for 2nd. And he's bringing Nolan Neiman along with him. That's one of the things I've been really impressed with the 15 car of Nolan, is he has not let these guys get away from him on the long run. And I mean, on the backstretch there, he was virtually pushing the 19 up to James Shainwolf. So really strong run for Nolan in the 15 car.
And that I was going to start heating up as Christensen all over the bumper. And now he's looking to the inside of Shainwolf. Neiman following suit. So there's another lap car there on the apron.
The two of Eric Shugart coming off of pit road. But look at the run Shainwolf was able to generate on the top side of the track. He's putting up quite a fight with this 19. Looks like Rick's going to be able to maybe slide up in front of him here off the turn 4 if he chooses to do so. He does, and now the 19 car, Rick Christensen's up to second, and he's going to have a chance to try to hunt down our leader, Eli Green.
Well, don't look now, but Matthew Robinson's knocking on the door for the top 5 spot. So he's back there.
JJ Wang also in 4th.
Yeah, strong showing from Wang.
Run.
Yeah, really strong showing from Wang in the 00.
These guys that we're looking at inside the top 15, like Nolan Neiman, man, they are right outside the playoffs. They're in the top 20 for the playoff picture, but they're not in the top 12. So they're going to need some strong runs like this to help get those points that they need.
Absolutely, but one driver who's got the best run so far without a win is Eli Green, currently in the spot 2 win on lap number 42 out of 110.
Looking down the back straightaway. Ooh, got one in the wall there. It looks like it's the 12 of Brandon Heatrick. The team, though, continues to run second. He's brought Nolan Neiman. Can't get my words out either. He's brought him alongside him, and now JJ Wang is under attack from the 40 and Matthew Robinson. That's a battle for 4th, but up front, Eli Green with a clear racetrack. Setting sail on these guys.
Yep, as they battle for the 4th spot, they're going to battle for the 6th spot. Williams, they're looking underneath the 31 of Shane Wolf, and the
we weren't really talking about the number 1 of Trevor Williams this run, but he's another one of those guys who ran really strong on the early parts of the race and then came down pit road and got those fresh tires. So he hasn't been able to put up quite the run as we saw the 28 of Eli Green did on this last restart, but Williams, I think, has a really fast race car as well in the number 1 car.
Driver right below him, the 26 of Michael Ide, looking like he's got a fast race car, trying to pass him for the 6th spot on the track. He's got the edge for the moment.
The new faces up front. We really haven't seen a lot of the guys in the top 10. This is like the first time we've seen them in the top 10 all year, so I'm really enjoying this.
Still balanced side by side there right behind JJ Wang. This is the number 9 of Ryan Swan, and that is a 00 of JJ Wang. So now he's got competition to his outside. It's Trevor Williams.
Two of Jordan Hurley, saw the pole sitter. He had a great run going in the early parts of this race. Got to the outside wall.
Williams
just like
in the
that.
wall. Williams just smacked the wall. We got a wreck down the back. Oh, nope. They saved it.
Saved it.
Spoke too soon. It was a 31 of Shane Wolf there that nearly got spun around to the inside wall, and that's heavy damage on the right side.
Right front is killed on the 1 of Trevor Williams. He's bringing it down pit road. That's going to pretty much eliminate his chances of getting a victory here tonight, but he had a really strong run working, Hunter. That's a bummer to see.
Yeah, and you saw it again right there. It's been the theme the whole night. Drivers get in the wall, and they're like stuck to it like it's glue. Then they're turning to the left so hard just to get out of the wall, and then they end up collecting other cars just trying to get out of the wall.
At that time, he just creamed it, though. He hit it so wall. Yeah. He hit the wall so hard there. He bounced right off of it, so not much he could do there. Obviously a bummer, but we actually stayed green. The 31 of James Shainwolf was one of those guys who had to make an evasive move around it to hold on to his 7th spot. Jordan Hurley, though, the big beneficiary of all that, he's moved up inside the top 5 due to that.
Yeah, Jordan Hurley smacked the wall earlier coming out of turn 2. He was running in 2nd, fell outside the top 10, went on pit road, repaired his damage, now he's back in the top 5.
Oh, for 3rd is starting to heat up. The number 15 of Nolan Neiman got a strong run going, but now here comes Matthew Robinson on the top side of the track in the number 40. He's looking to take away the 3rd spot, and he will do so here on the front straightaway as they come down into turn number 1.
Yeah, it looked like Neiman got loose there on that transition we saw earlier from Caleb Steimer. They like to run closer towards the apron when they come on the front stretch. It's a little bit of a shortcut going down the front stretch into turn 1. But sometimes they sit right in the middle of that transition part, and that kind of upsets the car.
See the lap car of Chris Knight on the top side of the racetrack letting these leaders go by. Spectacle move there from the number 8 veteran driver that we get to see here in this Pro Series. But front, man, Eli Green, he's done a really good job of controlling the pace of this thing since he's been able to take away the top spot. He didn't run away as quick as I thought he would have, but maybe that's a good thing. It's allowed him to save tires a little bit and keep that machine pretty equal and balanced throughout the run and not getting away from him, too tight, too loose. He's just done what he's supposed to do, and he's got a 1.5 second advantage over Rick Christensen.
Yep, very well could be. The one on Trevor Williams still on pit road.
He's actually retired. He took that thing straight to the garage. He is done in the number 1, which is a shame to see because he had a strong run going for all the Trevor Williams fans out there, but they knew he was here.
Yeah, I know we had one very early on that was viewing the race from Towanda, Pennsylvania, cheering on Trevor Williams, but rough night for him.
We got some pit stops already working, believe it or not. A lot of these guys are getting ready to come down, and includes the 22 of Sean Corcoran, the only driver we had yet to see pit tonight. He's going to be the first one hitting pit road as he's bringing the 9 of Ryan Swan last minute with him.
Absolutely. So that's 50 laps you could go on a set of tires here. I doubt you see anyone go near that much. But yep, there you see the 9 going to pull in the pit road right there, and then you're going to wait on the 22 of Corcoran to make the hard left into his pit stall. Gotta make sure
it's not a bad thing at all to be the first car on pit road under green flag stops, but you got to make sure you're within the range of when these other guys have to pit. You saw the guys come down on lap 24 under the 3rd caution of the race. I don't think they need to come down pit road for another 20 laps or so, so maybe too early on the part of the number 9. I don't think the 22 had much of an option there.
Yeah, but if this thing goes the green long enough where we see these drivers pit, it'll be interesting to see how many laps they can go on a tank of fuel, as that was in our most recent broadcast for the Sim Speed Shop Cup Series at Auto Club. Had an interesting photo finish, including you sliding through the grass and spinning and schwinning was the 12 of Eric Wineland. We could very well see that again here at Las Vegas.
I'll have to see what the fuel numbers look like. Honestly, I don't know them off the top of my head. If I had to make an honest guess, I would say maybe 50 laps would be close to the max you can make under green flag, but we saw, 2 or 3 cautions for the 22 of Sean Corcoran, and he still came down on lap 50 without making his stop. So we'll have to see if that's the trend. But we see a lot more guys now coming down pit road. I hear the 55 of Adam Capps is coming in. I got the 9 we already saw on pit road. I think pit road's about to get really, really busy for these guys.
Yep, very busy is our Elwood Designs race recap. Eli Green has led 40 of the 54 laps so far, 3 cautions for 9 laps. And Eli Green with the fastest lap at 30.741.
Good job maintaining the lead, like I was talking about a little bit earlier. He's not gotten too aggressive with the lap times, trying to do too much. He's just really patient and steady, and that's exactly what he needs. Is got another pack of cars here right outside the top 5. You see the 87 of Nick Halda. He's running 9th. He's got the 00 JJ Wang right behind him, as well as the 83 of Chase Johnson, who's making another return to the series. So happy to see him joining us here tonight. Saw the 55 hit pit road. Haven't seen much others yet as the fastest lap. How about Ryan Swan now? Quickest car on the racetrack.
Yep, Swan with the new sets of tires, putting those to his advantage.
Racetrack helps too.
Absolutely. And there you see in the background, JJ Wang getting passed by Chase Johnson, and that's for the 10th spot. So move the 83 up to 10th, and then right behind JJ Wang, that's the number 81 of Jeremy Horn, the only driver to not qualify for the race, and then immediately puts up the fastest lap as soon as we get green flag action. Currently running 12th.
Through the field, Rick Christensen is starting to cut into that gap a little bit of the 28 of Eli Green. He's a 1.5 seconds back now. He's got it down to just over a second, so he might be catching the 28 the longer this run goes.
Oh, we got a spin! Oh, that's the 8! Oh, and he got clobbered! Rick Christensen just clobbered in the Chris Knight down the backstretch. A huge crash that brings out our 4th caution of the night.
Holy smokes, he hit that car a ton. One of those deals where we talked about it on the first caution. Gotta hold the brake when you spin. It's the best thing to do is just hold that brake and make sure that car doesn't roll. I don't think the 8 held the brake there. And we saw him rolling down the track, and it puts these drivers in a tough spot to try to avoid it.
He just smacked the wall there going into turn 1, just kept it up high. And then spins in the middle of turn 1 and 2, smacked it to the inside wall hard. And then not really sure what was going on here. See, just...
He lost it there, trying to get up to speed.
Yeah. And then backing up, just nowhere to go.
Yeah, you can't do
hard
that.
hit. Hard hit, and that's a tough end of the night for Rick Christensen. Running in the second spot, absolutely nowhere to go. Unfortunate.
He was just starting to close in on our race leader, Eli Green. My goodness. That's one of the biggest impacts I've seen all season long. I mean, he just clobbered the 8 there. Some pieces flying all off the car, man. That was crazy.
Meanwhile, the rest of the field will come down pit road. So much for green flag pit stops. Well, for those that didn't pit, because now they're all going to pit at the same time.
Here comes Eli Green. The 40 is in. Pretty much like you said, everybody on the lead lap there. It's going to be a tough break for those guys who did pit under green, because they're going to have to take the waiver out now and restart behind all these guys who are pitted under yellow. That car is destroyed.
That's what's left of the 19, yeah. The right front tire is missing.
I mean, it's not even like the whole front end is really missing when you get down to the nuts and bolts of this thing. It's destroyed.
Yeah.
Front is on the ground. The shock is in the ground almost. Like, it is complete. It's one of the hardest hits I've seen in a league race in a long, long time. And we've raced at Daytona and Talladega, and you don't really ever see a car get hit wide open like that when the other car is just sitting there on the track. So obviously, Rick Christensen's got a right to be frustrated right now. And it just seems like every time he's got a good run going, bad luck strikes in some form or another. And obviously, he's going to be devastated, because I think he had a car to win tonight.
Well, 12. On our scoring pylon here on the left side, you see it shows the 18 of Caleb Steimer in the lead.
It'll update when he crosses the line.
Okay.
Yeah, this is he's going to be...
Oh, you see, he just went down pit road.
The pylon is active based on as it's happening, and the finisher overlay is based on how they cross the straight. Change to the 5th there. But Eli Green back up.
Eli Green back in the first spot. Go ahead and get our halfway rundown through, presented by Swift Lifestyles. Fans, be sure to visit our sponsor, Swift Lifestyles, for clean supplements that help improve your focus in gaming. Use discount code AREA iRacing, AREA iRacing, for 15% off your entire order. We would like to give a big thank you to Swift Lifestyles for their support of the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. Let's get it going. Eli Green has led the most laps tonight at 46, currently out of 60. Not much else to say other than that he's been the dominant car. Back there, you see the 0-2 of Jordan Hurley. He was running in the second spot earlier on, clipped the wall coming out of turn 2, and had to pit, fix some damage on the right side of that car, but he's jumped all the way back up to the second spot. And then third here, this driver has not had a quiet night, but not a good night also. Matthew Robinson was kind of the cause of a caution earlier on. He sits third right now, but he really hasn't been inside the top 10. One driver that has is the 31 of Shane Wolf. He stayed out, led about 10 laps or so, and was put up a dog of a fight there at one point, and now he sits in the 4th spot. Currently 5th place, although it says 6th place. 5th place is Nolan Neiman in the 15 car. He's had a solid night also. Really haven't talked much about him throughout the season, but he has kept it clean so far. Solid run for Neiman. And then there you see Daytona winner Nicholas Halda, 6th place right now. He's been in the back part of this pack, although he has had some nice runs throughout the race, and he sits in the 6th spot right now. 7th place is the 84 of Forrest Smith. He's been in the top 5 throughout the night, back part of the top 10. But, yeah, other than that, he's had a solid night. And there you see to the outside, that's the 81 of Jeremy Horn in the audible number 81. He did not qualify, and then as soon as the race went green, put down the fastest lap. It stayed clean, and he sits in the 8th spot right now. There you see that's 83 of Chase Johnson. He sits in the 10th spot, making a nice return to the series, and he's had a nice night so far. And just below him, Michael Leip sits in the 9th spot. Miller Racing Graphics, number 26. He's also making a return, and he's
Back to
doing
green
solid
here.
so far. Up in there, we will see the 28 of Eli Green on the bottom. Lead the field back green with Jordan Hurley on the outside, completing lap number 61 here. Less than 50 to go now at Vegas.
A tough thing for Eli Green there with that caution. He had such a big lead built up that now he's got to do it all over again.
Yeah, he had about, say, 1.2 seconds over Rick Christensen before that yellow came out.
Oh, he's got the 0-2 of Jordan Hurley all over his back bumper going into 3 and 4. So it's a lot different than what he was looking at about 5 laps ago.
Absolutely. Back here, you see the battle for the 6th spot between Nicholas Halda and Jeremy Horn. Horn on the bottom, Halda on the outside. They're single file in front of them going through turns 1 and 2.
See Ryan Swan, remember all those guys that pitted under green, they had to restart at the back of the field and they have older tires, so it's like a double penalty for them. So tough break for those guys. Up front though, things have kind of settled out. We see the 40 and the 31 going at it just at the front of your screen there. That's the battle for 3rd. James Shanewolf on the bottom.
Yep, Shanewolf on the bottom, Robinson on the outside, but back here, this battle still heating up. There's the 21 of Dominic DeLeo. James Shanewolf just put up the fastest lap of the race.
He's looking on the inside for second
away.
now.
Yep.
Yeah, he's looking for Hurley now to try to move up into the 2nd spot. He's really racing hard with these guys. I think they know that this is a critical part of the race.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, Nolan Neiman 5th again. That's just an impressive run for that 15. He's been top 5 all night long.
Yeah, these guys are all bunched up right here. Here comes Shanewolf down on the bottom of Hurley. Side by side as they go into turn 1. Hurley going to stick it on the outside, and meanwhile Shanewolf pushes it down on the bottom and gets a spot. There's a single file all throughout the backstretch now as they go through turns 3 and now through turns 4. Robinson trying to get around on the outside of Hurley in the 0-2, but Neiman still trying to put up a charge there. There you see Robinson poking to the outside. Oh! Gets the door shut on him.
James is looking good since he's moved into 2nd. He's really distanced himself for that battle from 3rd on back, and I think it's picking up. You got Nolan Neiman, now Jeremy Horn in the 81 joining the mix.
Yep, Jeremy Horn now looking underneath Neiman for the 5th spot.
Caution's out.
Yellow is out. It looked like, want to look back here, it might have been the 3 of Hayes again. Oh, big wreck. That was is that the 2 of
The
Shoe?
2 and the 55, yep.
Look at our one to go replay. Get another look at this. So there you see there, 66 on the bottom, the 2 on the outside as they're running through turns 1 and 2. Oh, the 66 gets loose and just slides up the track and nowhere to go for Shugart in the 2. Oh, another hard hit to the inside wall there for both drivers. That was Bobby Tinch in the 66 and then the 2 of Eric Shugart.
That's the 55 of Adam Capps. 55 Adam Capps.
Oh, 55. My apologies. That was a 55 of Adam Capps, not the 66 of Bobby Tinch. A little blurry on my end. That's another caution on the night. And a little sigh of relief there for James Shanewolf as he doesn't have to work as hard. Catch the 28 of Eli Green. So you got some guys making their pit stops. Good bit of drivers making their pit stops, actually. That is the 66 of Bobby Tinch. He's going to pull it into his pit box right here. But up front, still the 28 of Eli Green. We're on lap number 68 here of 110. Going to take another commercial break. You won't miss a thing. We'll be right back. And we'd like to welcome those who are once again subscribed to the Uriah Twitch channel. Every subscription and follow and viewer is appreciated. So right now you're watching commercial-free coverage here. Still under caution, lap number 68. There you saw that was 0-2 of Hurley blinking in and out, although he is back now. The leader is Eli Green, who's just had a dominant night so far. The 31 of Shane Wolf moved up to second there. Hurley fell back to spots, third. Robinson fourth, and Nolan Neiman still in the top 5 with a strong run going. I'm going to come across the start-finish line to complete lap number 68. Lights are still on the pace cars. They're going to go another lap before we get our one to go. An interesting night, to say the least. So we've had, I believe this is our 5th caution now. Our 5th caution tonight. The most that we've had in any race. There we go. Elwood Designs getting good money time there. Eli Green's led 55 laps tonight easily. If he completes this lap here, which he should, that will be the most laps led tonight for that 28. So 5 cautions now for 16 laps. And Shane Wolf now with the fastest lap. It's like a revolving door for that fastest lap. We saw Jeremy Horn there, Ryan Swan, Eli Green. Now James Shane Wolf currently holds it with a 30.5. There's the number 40. That's the points leader, and easily so far this season the most dominant car. Has had a interesting night, to say the least. Hasn't been in the top 10 until recently. Was actually the cause of a caution, hooking the 57 of Jordan Berry. Berry currently sitting, trying to find him here on our chart, 15th on the track right now. Solid recovery for him, but Robinson sitting in the 4th spot right now. So it looks like we'll get the one to go this time by. Yep. Drivers are doubling up, and it looks like the 28's going to take the bottom, although he could take the top. But we have seen a leader take the bottom most of the night. Looking throughout the field here, 23 cars on the track. It looks like Bobby Tinch is still on pit road. Along with the, actually no, Bobby Tinch is not on pit road.
He just came out, it looks like.
Ah.
But though, those guys that just came down pit road, Hunter, are going to be in pretty good shape.
Oh, absolutely. That is from 16th on back, Nicholas Halda. Actually, Brian Dixon, excuse me.
Be looking pretty sharp, I think, because these guys have a lot of laps in their tires already. Not a ton, but they have a few. And we saw the difference with James Shane Wolf earlier when he came out with the freshest tires on the track, how he was able to cut and dice his way through the field. I think we might see something similar to that this time around. However, though, we got a really stout field at the top. Top 6 or so guys, I think, are really competitive and honestly could mix it up amongst each other, not to mention the guys coming from the back with fresh tires.
Oh, absolutely. Only time will tell, though, on this upcoming restart how well that will go, because the drivers with fresher tires can easily slice and dice through the field. But with the way we've been watching these drivers race all night, just a small mistake could create a big accident. We're coming back green here at Las Vegas now with 40 laps to go. So you see the drivers rolling through turns 1 and 2, majority of them on the bottom. Still got some people up there trying to make some passes on the outside. Roll down the back stretch here.
And Hurley again is all over the back bumper of Eli Green, man. He is not giving him any room to breathe. Seriously, like almost coaching him around the racetrack. Off of turn 4, though, they're going to stay single file for the moment. It's Eli Green up front, Jordan Hurley in second now, who peeks to the apron. He's not going to get the nose underneath him. But those two are kind of separated themselves from the top, I should say from third on back. But really, it's like you mentioned, Hunter, that top 4 always seems to break away.
Yep, and then from 5th on back, it's always 2 wide, 3 wide, sometimes 4 wide there. That's the battle between Nolan Neiman and Jeremy Horn for that 5th spot. You see Neiman on the bottom trying to put up a fight with the 81 of Horn on the outside. And now the top 3 are all in a blanket. Because that 0-2 of Hurley again trying to take a look to the inside. Couldn't quite do it. Tucks back in line. The 31 of Shane Wolf. Fastest lap of the race now.
Looking at the strategy here, He's Ryan Swan and the rest of the guys that just pitted with only 5 laps on their tires. They could take it all the way to the end with fuel, as we saw with the 50-lap run. But the guys that are up in the front all going to need to come down the pits one more time, at least for a splash and go.
They'll be tight. They might be able to save as we got a stout battle at the front. Jordan Hurley takes over the top spot, and he's got James Shanewolf along with him. 3 cars under a blanket for the lead, Hunter.
I'll say splash is more like flash and go. The not the 81, excuse me, the 02 was flashing. We're 3 wide for the lead now, so they're coming off turn 2. I'm saying again, the 02 of Hurley flashed in and out, and then as soon as he came back, made a move and took the lead for the moment. But yeah, 28 of Green on the bottom. Shanewolf trying to make room in the middle, and then the 02 of Hurley holding his line up top. See Shanewolf, they're still trying to work the middle. So now 3 wide. You're going to be 3 wide here for the lead, boys, going into turn 1.
I don't know which lane's preferred right now on these fresh tires. They all seem to have their advantages, as Shanewolf's really sliding and trying to make the middle work right now.
Boy, that's what Matthew Robinson wants to see. He wants to see those 3 battling all the way around the track.
I think they're battling to try to sprint away from him, really. That's honestly why I think they're racing so aggressive. Is they don't want to be the ones who's left having to deal with Matthew Robinson. They want to get a lead and get away from him, but they might be eating up their tires right now.
Shanewolf just led that lap, and now the 02 of Hurley trying to look underneath him again. Thought about sliding up, thinks better of it. Shanewolf with a run on the top here down the back. Oh, we got wreck in the back. Wreck in the backstretch. Multiple cars spinning around. The caution's going to come out once more.
Oh, no caution. No caution.
No caution. Okay, interesting. A driver spinning all over the place.
21 of Dom DeLeo, he got caught up against the outside wall with the 00 of JJ Wang, and they just kind of rid down the backstretch up against the wall. So that's why there was no caution. No car really turned around backwards.
I thought I saw a car sideways. That could have been wrong.
Sideways, but he wasn't backwards. That's the key here for iRacing with these tacky cautions, honestly, is the best way to put it. iRacing hasn't seemed to really want to throw a yellow flag unless that car is completely backwards. And if we don't see that, a lot of times we don't see a caution. That's exactly what happened here.
Here's a look at a replay here of it. As you see the 21 just getting loose and sliding into the 00 of JJ Wang, making contact. And yeah, no, really going sideways, although it looked like the 21 was sideways. He did not spin all the way, and therefore that is not a caution. And this battle is still going as Shanewolf cleared him. Clear the 02 of Hurley now, who's trying to keep the 2nd spot away from Eli Green. Brings the 40 of Robinson a little bit closer to them, but now some breathing room for the 31 of Shanewolf.
And Shanewolf's looked strong since he's took the top spot away. He's been the only one we've seen on this run kind of stretch out a little bit of a margin between 1st and 2nd place. But Eli Green's going to have his hands full. Between the 02 of Jordan Hurley and the 40 of Matthew Robinson, this race is nowhere near over, and we got 32 laps left here to settle it all out.
Oh, absolutely. And a caution could come out at any moment. I mean, we've had 5 different cautions throughout the race already.
And not to mention the fuel. Like Harold mentioned, a lot of these guys are going to be close on fuel, if not short. Other than Ryan Swan and those guys who pitted on the last caution. We're kind of turn 2 now.
Yep.
He got it.
That was the 26 of Michael Ipe there, moving in front of the 83 of Chase Johnson for the 8th spot. There's a good shot of 15 of, that is Nolan Neiman. 15 has a solid night, still has a solid night. But up front, that 31 of Shanewolf starting to pull away just a bit, although the 28 of Eli Green has passed the 02 of Jordan Hurley. Now has his eyes set on the leader.
Really settled out, right? I mean, we see a lot of these guys single file for much of the field. First battle we really see is between the 57 of Jordan Berry and the number 9 of Ryan Swan. That's for 12th. Other than that, it's single file throughout the entire top 10 as Swan now moves his way into the 12th spot over Berry. And Sean Corcoran right in front of him now is working on Gary Lewis for that 10th spot.
Like to thank Lucky We Are for the little raid. It's all appreciated. So that is the battle for the 8th spot. Life on the outside and Chase Johnson on the bottom. And right behind those guys, it's side by side. That's Gary Lewis and Sean Corcoran. But up front, it's still a 31 of James Shainwolf, leading tow, followed by Eli Green, Jordan Hurley, Matthew Robinson, and Nolan Neiman for the
They're
top
3
5.
wide back there for 10th. It's Chase Johnson, the 26 of Michael Light, the 22. It's getting really tight out of nowhere. We were just watching them, and then all of a sudden they busted 3 wide with Michael Light and these guys.
Well, these guys got to be careful with the way they come off of turn 2, even turn 4. Don't want to get too close to that wall, otherwise you're stuck there.
So this is the group that can go all the way, that don't have to save.
These guys are guaranteed to make it to the end of this race in terms of fuel. It's going to be a question mark up front. So really the reason you see these guys racing so hard is they might potentially know that if this thing goes green the rest of the way, this could be the race for the win.
Battle for second starting to heat up. Hurley all over the bumper of the 28 of Green there. Green going to slide up through turns 3 and 4. A little bit of a run here. We're going to ride on board with a 40 of Matthew Robinson. You mentioned earlier, Jake, Robinson's led the most laps throughout the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series, and he has yet to lead a lap tonight.
It's not going to happen tonight, so that streak's going to come to an end at 3 races. But one streak he can keep alive that I think he hopes to keep alive is the top 5 streak. Top 5 in every race to start the season coming into tonight, and I think he's on track to do that again.
Yep, at the moment he's running 4th. He's got the battle up in front of him. Got to make sure that doesn't get collected in any sort of hijinks that may come from this battle. But these front 4, it's been the same thing all night. The front 4 pull away from 5th on back.
Really, the car I'm watching right now is that 22 of Sean Corcoran, right on cue there, by the way. Harold, perfect. The timing on that. But he's been probably the quickest car on track the last handful of laps in terms of making his way through traffic. We just saw him a handful of laps go outside the top 15, then he was inside the top 10, and now he's worked his way all the way up to 7th, and he's about to make a move on Forrest Smith. That 22 is making his way towards the front in a hurry. Question mark is he making his way to the front too quick? Well, his tires begin to fall off, and who's one of those guys that we know that can make it to the end on fuel? Who's one of those guys that can make it to the end and have tires left is the next part of that question. So, Halda, the 22 is looking for 5th on Nolan Neiman. Sean Corcoran is coming in a hurry, Hunter.
Yep, and he's bringing his friends with him. Here you see everyone going to the bottom except Nolan Neiman. Neiman sticking it to the highest groove of the track. Now that's Forrest Smith and Jeremy Horn right behind him.
5th through 10th right now in the bubble. Johnson trying to find a lane on the inside. Ryan Swan was not letting that guy back in lane. He was going to hold him out on the top side of the racetrack. These guys are really racing hard right now. Got the 15 on the top with the 83 of Chase Johnson right behind him. Down low, you see the 84, the 81, and then the 9. Who's looking almost for a 3-wide move on the 81 of Jeremy Horn. Not going to happen. Moved Forrest Smith now up to 6. Nolan Neiman back to 7th. And right now, Sean Corcoran's really happy to be in 5th and away from all these guys.
Yeah, these guys are, they're still going at it, although looked like they were single file right there, but yeah, they could get 3 wide at any moment. So put Smith in the 6th spot. Go on.
I was going to say, now we're starting to see the closest battle for 3rd with Eli Green and Matthew Robinson. Robinson kind of peaked down low, peaked up high, and then it looked like noticeably he got out of the gas as if he's trying to save that car and save some tires, or maybe even save fuel for that matter. So we're not really sure what the fuel situation is on the 40, but I think he might be trying to save a little bit of fuel where he can and use the draft on the straightaways to ensure he can make it to the end of this thing.
Getting a little bit of deja vu from the last broadcast we had on this channel for the Cup races. It was a fuel mileage race at Auto Club, and Ryan Honeycutt was leading and was just driving away from everyone. The drivers behind him, they were saving fuel. Then go figure, Honeycutt, who was pulling away from that pack, ran out of fuel, and the drivers in that pack made it to the end, almost all of it.
We got a battle for the lead out of nowhere. Jordan Hurley in the 0-2 has caught the 31, and he's working the high line, and it might be for that reason you just mentioned, Hunter. If you're up front, you're the one who's saving fuel the worst. So I think James Shainwolf might have recognized that, and he might not want to be the guy leading this train around.
Yep, it could be the 0-2 of Jordan Hurley. So they're side by side now for the lead, and they're the battle for 13 up also, as you mentioned earlier. Robinson on the bumper of Eli Green. They're still side by side coming out of turn 2.
Hurley, talk about an up and down night. Seen him in the top 5, and now we've seen him outside the top 10. Now he's back up front trying to lead this thing after starting on the pole. We got the 81 of Jeremy Horn on pit road.
Got the battle here, the 0-2 going, taking the shortcut. You see the 81 of Jeremy Horn there on pit road. Hurley trying to stick it to the bottom of Shane Wolf. Shane Wolf, though, getting around the outside.
Oh, they're still battling up front, man. This thing is not over.
Yep. Oh, he's going to tuck back in line. I'm looking through the lap times here, and that previous time around, Sean Corcoran ran 4/10 quicker than the leaders, although they were battling side by side.
As I was about to say that with all this battling up through 1 through 4, Corcoran in the 22 is like, y'all keep doing that and I'll be there soon.
And we know, like you mentioned, he's got the green light. He's good to go on fuel. So the question mark remains for the top 4. We already see the 81 we documented of Jeremy Horn. He made his pit stop, so he's already pretty much settled in bed that he's not going to be able to make it the rest of the way. And he's just biting the bullet now and coming down and making that pit stop for fuel and 4 tires, of course. So we'll have to see when these top 4 decide to come in. But for the moment, I believe Sean Corcoran is the guy up front when this thing settles out who can make it all the way.
And the second driver that can make it behind Sean Corcoran is the 9 of Ryan Swan, running in the 7th spot right now. He also has a green light to go all the way, and he's trying to catch up to that 83 of Chase Johnson for the 6th spot. But yeah, for the moment, it seems like the 22 putting the pressure on the top 4.
One will be pitting here, Hunter.
Oh, there we go. Shane Wolf, the leader, coming down pit road. Going to bring the lead through the 0-2 of Jordan Hurley here as they come across the stripe. 15 laps to go for the roll the dice 165. We could see the top 3 roll the dice and make it on fuel, potentially, if they saved enough and stretched enough.
So remember, those guys only stayed out for 10 more laps in terms of the guys who had pitted. So with these guys coming in with 15 to go, I don't wonder if those guys are even going to be close to making it, because they're going to be an extra 10 laps, less on fuel than the 22. Oh, we got a caution. That's going to take an end to all of that fuel strategy.
Oh my, it looks like Nolan Neiman might have been involved. Looking at him down on the leaderboard.
Well,
yeah,
that's called to Brandon Heatrick.
Brandon Heatrick, the number 12.
Turn 4.
Get a replay here in just a moment. R1 to go replay.
I was really looking forward to seeing how the fuel played out there.
Yeah, it looked like it looked like it was going to be an interesting one here, to say the least. There you see on board, or on our helicopter cam, excuse me, it's the 12 of Brandon Heatrick. Right behind him is the 26 of Michael Lipe. Heatrick was low. Looked like he was making his pit stop, and right behind him, Nolan Neiman had no clue, and Nolan Neiman got jacked up. Looked like the 87 of Nicholas Halda there that was underneath of the 15.
So I was seeing in the chat that he was announced that he was pitting. So
bit of a miscommunication there. There you see the 15 slide across the grass.
That's definitely a miscommunication there, I'd say, on the 12's part. He did type in the chat that he's pitting, but these guys got to get off the racetrack before they start slowing down. You can't just hit the brakes right in front of somebody like that. I know you called out you were pitting, but obviously you got a rearview mirror. You see that guy come in, but nonetheless, it's a tough break for both of them, right? Because the 12's destroyed, the 15's destroyed, and they were both having good runs outside the playoffs, trying to get in, and not the night they were looking for. Or I should say, not the result they were looking for.
Now this changes everything. Now everybody's on pit row, probably going to make sure they have enough fuel and 4 new tires, I'm sure, and all the way around.
A little 10-lap sprint to the end is what we're going to end up with, so that changes a lot.
Through the drivers that stayed out, James Shamwolf is the only one that's on the lead lap. And he's only on 2 laps with his set of tires.
But Shane Wolf actually came down before the caution.
Yeah, right before. So looks like he will be, no, Rick Ward is the leader right now.
And he actually stayed out. He's at 32 laps. Rick Ward with his time.
Looks like Rick Ward might be staying out to lead a lap and then coming down pit road. Tough way to end the night for Nolan Neiman.
Shane Wolf is actually on the tail end of the lead lap here. You know, if Ward comes down, he will be. He's right there in 31. See, just in front of the second place Matthew Robinson.
Shane Wolf might have been the free pass car.
Gonna get the wave around here. Is what's gonna happen.
Yeah, he's gonna get waved.
Okay. Whoa. And someone try to deke someone out of pitting.
What's going to be rough with that wave round is, again, like we saw earlier, he's got to start all the way at the back behind these guys, and he's going to be on a little bit older tires.
Jake, I don't know if you recall from earlier on where you said that Matthew Robinson leading a lap in a race, that streak was coming to an end.
Leading the most.
Did not. Now leading the most.
He won't lead the most, but he's led a lap now.
He's led a lap, yeah. That 40 car, I mean, he's had an interesting night. He was gave a little bit of a helping hand, if you will. Not much of a helping hand to the 57 of Jordan Berry, causing one of our cautions. And he really hasn't been in the top 10 throughout the first half of the race, although the second half, been of a different story. He worked his way in the top 10, now the top 5, and now he's in the lead.
Interesting looking at Robinson and Johnson were two tire stops.
I was going to say, they had to have done something different to cycle out front, and I was trying to figure it out, Harold. Good call on that. 2 tires for both the 83 and the 40. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out.
Yeah, there'll definitely be something to watch here, especially on the restart, where we've seen almost every single time the leader choose the bottom. Could the 40 of Robinson take the top?
Just said it over the radio. Literally, you said, can he take, will we see the 40 take the top? And I mean, in perfect cue, he goes, I'm going to take the top.
Well, there we go.
Here comes the wave around cars.
Yep, there you see the wave around cars there. And now we are within 10 laps to go here for the Roll the Dice 165.
I got a little bit of an idea why you took the top here, Hunter. You ready? Because he's on 2 tires, right? Who's the other car on 2 tires? It's the 83 of Chase Johnson. He's going to make that 83 start on the inside so that he can get a great launch, and the 40 is going to clear him. But then once he's out front, the 83 essentially is going to act as a moving roadblock for these guys to have to get around with those 2 tires. And that'll allow him a little bit of extra time to try to square it away with the lead. So smart strategy move there for Robinson. Because if he would have started on the bottom, he would have had the Jordan Hurley machine all over him from the get-go. Now, with this choice of the top, he's going to have a little bit of clearance.
Our coverage inside 10 to go is brought to you by Sim Speed Shop. We would like to thank Sim Speed Shop for their support of the Sim Speed Shop Cup Series this season in Orion. And racers, you can visit our website at www.simspeedshop.com to find multiple items to complete their virtual racing setup, such as button boxes, wheels, racing gear, and more. That's www.simspeedshop.com. You can catch the Sim Speed Shop Cup Series every Thursday night here on the Uriah Twitch channel. Now, we're inside 10 to go. It's going to be 9 to go when he crossed the line. Robinson on the outside of Johnson. The front 2 on 2 tires. Everyone else behind them on 4. Should be an interesting restart here as the green flag flies once more at Vegas.
There you see what crash. I was talking about.
The cars. What happened? No, that was the 26 of Life. Life that just shot down to the inside of the racetrack. No caution.
Still green because he's off the track.
Eli Green, though, what I was talking about, I mean, he was trying to make as quick as work as possible with that 83. So he got around him super quick there on the restart, and now he's going to be looking on the 40.
Yep, Eli Green to the inside of Matthew Robinson there. He's going to lead the lap this time by, but he won't clear him just yet. Robinson put up a fight as they go into turn 1.
This is the battle for the win with 8 to go. Matthew Robinson up high. Down low, Eli Green making quick work of him. He's going to take the top spot away.
Yep. Oh, car in the wall back there. Oh, and the side for Robinson.
Jordan Hurley right now, he is not letting these guys get away whatsoever. He's right here in the mix. He's going to push Eli Green up front. Eli's going to throw a block down low. Now here comes Hurley on the top. 7 to go.
This is close quarters racing here, ladies and gentlemen. Between Eli Green, Jordan Hurley, Matthew Robinson. Hurley completing the pass for second, trying to get on the outside of Green. There's they come off of 2. Oh, cars making contact there down the backstretch, but the battle for the lead heats up. Hurley on the outside, Green to the inside. Will the run prevail for the 0-2?
See if the 28 decides to throw a block here. He's going to be trying to fight on the bottom as much as he can, but he also doesn't want to let that 0-2 hang on the outside. But that's exactly what ends up happening for Jordan Hurley. He's got the momentum going in through 1 and 2 on the top side of the racetrack. He should clear him here coming off of turn 2.
Allow the 0-2 to clear Eli Green, move Jordan Hurley to the lead as we're closing in on 5 to go here at Las Vegas.
2-tire strategy did not work out whatsoever for Matthew Robinson or the 83 of Chase Johnson for that matter. They have lost the top 2 spots and they're falling backwards in a hurry, but here comes the 22 now. Sean Corcoran's worked his way up to 4th. Hello, here comes
Green
Eli
trying
Green
to come
once
back.
again.
Oh, man.
Caution.
Caution is out once more here at Vegas. This is going to set up a green-white checker here. Let's take a look at our 1-to-go replay. See what brought out the caution.
18
Looks
of
like that's Caleb Steimer. Yep. Looks like he had Ryan's. Is that Ryan Swan to the outside? It's a little choppy on my end.
Yeah, Ryan Swan.
Yep.
Looks like it's going to happen a little bit after this, though. It's the 18 when he gets down into turn 1 and 2 on the following lap. So we got a little bit to go here in the replay.
Okay. But there, oh, they made contact right there in turn 3, though. Swan drops back. The 92 car there is making a move.
Right here, getting down into 1 and 2. I think the 18 of Caleb Steimer just trying to keep it on the bottom as much as he could. I think he might have hit the apron or got a little loose here. You'll see it.
Oh, he can't.
Sideways right in front of the 92.
92 helped him around. Nowhere to go for Ryan Swan. He also takes a spin. Sliding down the track, not sure if anyone else got collected in that.
Nobody else got collected. They did actually a really good job avoiding him because he was sliding way down the track. But other than that, oh man, what an exciting little finish we got working up here. Jordan Hurley now the leader, and it's going to be a green-white checkered hunter like you mentioned. He's got Eli Green behind him, Matthew Robinson, and then how about the 22 of Sean Corcoran worked his way up to 4th.
Well, one thing I'm looking forward to on this is the initial restart because in this case, the leader should go immediately as soon as the pace truck hits pit road, and you'll just see how much of a gap the 0-2 is going to have on the rest of the field.
And I think with that too, right, with this green-white checkered, well, we'll have to see. If they get the 1 to green this time around, yeah, it's going to be a green-white checkered either way. So if a caution comes out on that first lap, Hunter, it'll end the race. So if he does exactly what you mentioned there, and he gets a quick lead, and then chaos forms in the back, and they end up wrecking, and it brings out a caution, race is over. So we'll have to see what he decides to do. I kind of wonder if he's going to choose the top or the bottom.
Yeah, I'm interested too in seeing what he's going to do.
I feel like if he chooses the bottom, he'll bring Matthew Robinson along with him and then stack up Robinson with Eli Green. However, if he chooses the top, he's going to have to get a good enough restart to clear Eli Green, and then essentially he'll be racing the 28 heads up. Kind of pick him there. It's who do you want to race for the win? Do you want to race the 40? Do you want to race the 28? When all things are considered, you have to think about the 40 with that 2-tire strategy. Maybe he might be the easier guy to beat heads up.
He might be. You never know. Only time will tell here on this restart.
If they get to 1 to green here, it might still be 2 to green. We'll have to see if the lights go out or not on the pace truck. As across the stripe, lap 109 goes on the board. The lights stay on the pace truck, so we're still 2 to green, and we're going to go into overtime.
Yep, overtime here. Only get 1 attempt at a green-white checker. And when the caution comes out, that's the end of the race. Doesn't matter if it's on 2 to go or 1 to go. As soon as the caution comes out, the race is over.
Just can't even believe the 40 was able to get himself into this spot. We hadn't seen him up front all night long, and then we got ready to restart with 10 to go, and he was the leader.
Things can change in an instant here. I mean, the way the night's been, they can go 3 wide at some point, they can go 2 wide, they can just smack the wall and start spinning out of nowhere. Anything can happen in this race.
Really, really, what a great opportunity, though, for Jordan Hurley. He came into tonight 24th in points. So a win tonight or even a solid finish will put him at least inside that top 20, probably. You would assume so. And that'll get him in the playoff picture. And then it's a matter of getting a win from there, which, I mean, who knows what can happen here at the end of this thing.
The guys are going to take the one to go this time by. So we'll see which lanes will be chosen by the O2.
I'm going to run a quick commercial break here as these guys are coming to get the 1 to green signal here, and we'll be back just in time to get things lined up and stacked up for our green-white checkered restart hunter at Las Vegas. I don't know. Did you see this one coming?
I would like to say I did, but absolutely did not. I sort of thought that, you know, maybe we could get another finish like we did at Auto Club for the Cup Series last week.
Oh, how about this? The O2 of Jordan Hurley is actually going to pick the top side of the racetrack to restart on. So essentially, he's thinking he can race that 28 heads up and beat him heads up, because that's going to allow these two to get out front essentially to themselves. So it'll be an interesting race to the finish, I think, between Eli Green on the bottom and Jordan Hurley up top.
Contact
Whoa,
on the
we got a wreck
caution.
in the back. Caleb Steimer just went spinning around there on the back. Really interested in seeing what happened there. So we get a little quick 1 to go replay here. Want to make sure we get this and not miss the last restart. Not really sure what happened there.
Front though, here we go. They're going to get set to restart here. Jordan Hurley up front with the 28 of Eli Green. We're going to cut back to live coverage here. Coming out of turn 4, the O2, the race leader on the top side of the racetrack, is going to get the fire. The pace truck is in and he's off.
Interesting that he took the outside here on this green-white checker. Got Eli Green there to the bottom, although...
Yeah, and Eli's hanging with him. This is what I was worried about when I saw him choose the top. Eli's going to be right on the back bumper. Hurley's going to get there in time to throw a block on him, but Eli Green's not going to let him get away whatsoever as they work through 3 and 4.
Car down below the apron there. They're still going. Caution can end this race at any moment. They're coming through turns 3 and 4 here. Corcoran. No, not Corcoran. Excuse me. The O2 of Jordan Hurley's going to take
This will be
the
a race to the end.
here.
If a flag comes out, they'll race to the end.
This is it.
Yes.
This is it. This is the white flag.
1 to go, presented by 1 to Go Studios. The O2 of Jordan Hurley currently leading. Eli Green there in second. Matthew Robinson third. Come off the backstretch there for the final time. Side by side for 6th. Coming through 3 and 4. Doesn't look like Green's going to have anything for that O2. So give the win to Jordan Hurley here. Nope, almost spoke too soon. 28. Almost had a run there at the end. But give it now to the O2 of Jordan Hurley. He wins the roll the dice 165. Oh my gosh. Almost had a heart attack there at the end when I saw Green making the move down to the bottom. Oh my goodness. What a race. I mean, just chaos from start to finish. And congrats to Jordan Hurley on picking up his first win in his second race for the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series.
I'm just going through everything. That was a crazy run to the end there. Jordan Hurley gets his first career win here in the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series. He's going to burn it down on the front stretch of Vegas.
And to think at one point, he might have been out of this race. He was running second early on, smacked the wall, was outside the top 10, fixed his damage, and prevailed through all the madness that was going on after that, and he wins. Nice little burnout there from the O2. And that's big for him, too, because this is the second race of the season for him. He started late compared to the rest of the field, and he's already got a win. So that should set him up pretty good in the points standings.
To get in the top 20, which I think he did tonight. I mean, that was like a dogfight to the end. I'm just looking through all the chaos coming to the stripe and something.
Here's our finishing results here for the Roll the Dice 165. Jordan Hurley rolled the dice, choosing the outside line, and he sticks it out, gets the win over Eli Green, finishing second. Matthew Robinson, third. Sean Corcoran, fourth. And Forrest Smith rounding out the top 5.
JJ Wayne, Gary Lewis, Nicholas Halda, James Shanewoolf, and Ryan Swan rounding out the top 10. I think that's 3 10th place finishes for the number 9 to start the year. Through 11th, and now 11th through 15th, you got Brian Dixon, Bobby Tinch, Jeremy Horn, but we're actually going to get a chance to catch up with our top 3 finishers of the night. Let's start with the O2 actually here, Harold, if you don't mind. Let's start with the race winner, Jordan Hurley, and I'll get Hunter a chance to talk to him real quick.
All right, Jordan, this is Hunter, Jake, and Harold in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Oh, my goodness. Talk about an up and down kind of race you had. Running second at one point, smacked the wall. Seemed like your chances were done, but you prevailed through all the madness that ensued after that. Take us through that last restart, though, because we saw everyone choose the bottom, except for that second to last one when Robinson took the top. Kind of take us through your thoughts on that.
Yeah, no kidding. That was a roller coaster of emotions, that race. I guess I was most worried about the 40 car, and he had the inside, and I didn't want him to get the advantage of going with me. So I figured if I take the top, he'd kind of be at a little disadvantage there. So that was kind of my main thought process there. I was going to blame that if I had lost the race that I didn't take the bottom. I was hoping it wouldn't haunt me, so thank God it didn't. But yeah, it was a crazy race. I'm pretty sure the wall reached out and grabbed me at one point. So I don't know. We're going to have to look at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I think there's demons in the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, we saw that all night where drivers would smack the wall, and it'd be like glue. You're just stuck to it. And then you try as hard as you can to get out of the wall, and then you end up collecting a bunch of other drivers. But fortunately for you, you did not do that. And you kept your foot in it and brought home victory lane. Jake, had any thoughts?
I was going to ask you there, we saw all race long, as Hunter mentioned, up and down, and we saw the same thing at Iowa, where you qualified up front, ran good, and you got, issues here and there. I mean, is it just a matter of wrong place, wrong time, or what do you think has been the issues that have plagued this O2 car in the middle of the race, but then being able to rebound and finish up front?
I guess I'm not sure. Hopefully next week's a little different. It's not going according to game plan, obviously. I'd rather just lead the race and dominate the whole time. But it's good that we can come back and finish strong. They are long races, so it gives me a good chance to, battle back when I do make mistakes like that. So that's a fortunate thing. But yeah, hopefully next week, pole again, probably jump back to about 20th, and then we'll end up first or second again.
Hey, man, congratulations. As of right now, I believe that run tonight's going to move you into the top 20, and the win could lock you into the playoffs from the outside looking in. So talk about how that feels going into the last half of the regular season here.
Yeah, it takes a little chip off my shoulder getting the win, obviously, and now we just have to run good and walk our way into the playoffs and hopefully be strong then.
Awesome, man. Well, congrats. I was going to hand it back over to Hunter if he's got anything else he wants to ask you before we get to second place here.
I was just going to ask if you had any shout-outs or sponsors you want to give out before you go and celebrate your win.
Always shout out to Brad Slaughter, best admin of all time. He did a great job out there. Thanks, Jacob, again for hosting the league, and shout out to Alan Elwood Designs for whipping up my all-white Dodge car before the race with all the contingencies. So yeah, thank you.
I'm gonna throw in there. I think we got to turn off the iRacing numbers there. Yeah, it looks like I got double numbers working on the outside.
Yeah.
Of it.
Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. Won't be next week though. But thank you guys. You guys have a good night.
So I was gonna say it looks good in victory lane though, whether it's got nothing on there or everything. So congrats to Jordan. We'll see you back next week.
Yep. See you.
That was Jordan Hurley, your first place finisher, or your second place finisher now is Eli Green in the 28. Eli, it's Hunter, Harold, and Jake in the booth. Got a copy?
Of course I do.
Man, what an interesting race. I mean, you were up front for the majority of it, snuck through the carnage just barely there with the aid of Chris Knight. But take us through your thoughts on the race, because, I mean, I don't know about you, but for us up here, it was crazy from start to finish. I was on the edge of my seat for most of it.
Yeah, it was kind of chaotic there, a little bit more than I wanted it to be, but we didn't really have any green flag pit stops, so I didn't get to have an advantage really at any point. But it was pretty fun. I mean, I'm kind of disappointed I kind of threw the win there. Honestly, just I didn't drive it as hard as I could, and I figured that out the very last lap. You saw me close up on him. I was actually driving it to my full potential again, and so I kind of screwed it. So.
Oh, I was going to mention you led 63 laps, and obviously I know you're going to hate hearing it, but it is another good points day at the end of the race for you, and came into this race second in points. I assume you'll probably retain that second place in points going forward, but is a win something that's going to be on your mind to lock yourselves into the playoffs, or do you have no problem just using the points to get in?
Well, I mean, I think I'm second in points. I think I'll be okay. I think I'm getting away from third place with the finishes that I'm having, so I'm not too worried about it. I wasn't going to race tonight, but last second I was able to, and so I didn't have any practice, so I thought it was going to be pretty bad, but it actually turned out to work out for me. But me and Hurley are racing together now, kind of as an unofficial team, I guess you could say. So so we were working the starts together and stuff, and we'll get just trying to help each other out there, and so.
That kind of answers my next question, which was going to be about that last restart. I noticed he chose the top, and I was talking to Hunter about it. I said, look, if he chooses the top, he's going to have to race Eli Green heads up as opposed to trying to race the 40, who was on 2 tires at the time. Is that kind of something you guys collaborated on?
We talked about it just because mainly I didn't want to lose another position. So we had talked about it and decided that I can be in front of him, and then, he's going to get the lead anyway. So it'll be okay. That's kind of what we decided. So just so I could finish higher and not lose a position, we ran it like that. And he ended up winning anyway, so it's fine for him. So
Final thoughts, shout out, sponsors. You want to give out before you go?
Nah, thanks to Brad, I guess, for giving
What's
me.
Everybody thinking Brad tonight. What's up with that?
I don't know. He about penalized us at the start. I was going to be mad.
Yeah. There you go. Well, Eli, obviously, good run again tonight, man. Looking forward to seeing you back next week when we head to. Oh Dover. Man, where's race 5? Dover. Yeah, there we go. So we're heading to Dover next week. See you back there, and congrats on the second place. That's Eli Green in number 28. Now we're going to be moving down to our third place finisher here, Hunter.
Yep, third place finisher, Matthew Robinson. Matthew, this is Hunter Harold and almost said Ken. Hunter Harold and Jake in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, your first half wasn't as good as the season has been, but the second half of the race, you rallied back, bounced back, almost had a shot to win there. Just the 2 tires didn't work out.
Yeah, just Eli and Jordan they were really good, and it's hard to pass here, so I was going to just try something different and see if it'll hold them off for a few laps, but it surely didn't. It was just it wasn't enough to hold them off. Maybe we had a couple cautions in there, might have helped out, but just such a wide open track, you got to have that tires, and it's just didn't work out for us, but take home a third. I'm happy with that.
The night, as Hunter mentioned, not as smooth as it's been going into the the last 2 races have been for you. Jesus, I'm botching this question quite a bit, but I was going to ask you, with the 2 wins already in the bank and kind of setting yourself and basically locking yourself for the most part into the playoffs already, that kind of make it, get you to a point where you feel like you can kind of take these last 8 or so regular season races off until we get to that point? Or are you still going to be pushing for more and more wins and trying to get those playoff points once the season comes down to the end of the regular season?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep on trying to win and do everything I can to improve myself and try to get as much wins as I can. I knew coming in here had been tough with being such a cookie cutter track and almost wide open, and I couldn't really outwheel them, I guess, with it being a big drafty track, and so I just sort of try to come in here and have a clean race and move on to next week where we can do something different, and maybe get another win and keep on picking up the playoff points.
Oh, well, interesting third place finish there for you. Certainly what you wanted to expect after that first half. Any special shout out sponsors you want to give out before you go?
Yeah, I'd like to apologize to Jordan Berry there. I didn't mean to I didn't mean to get into him that early in the race. I was trying to go around the outside, then he sort of slid up a little bit, and I was still trying to go, and just got into him a little bit and ruined his day. I'm really sorry, but no, I'd like to thank JW Racing and Justin Rideout and Nick Halda and Chase Johnson was here tonight, so all of them, we had a good time tonight here, and I'd like to thank Track Racer. You can use JW Racing as the discount code on the website. Anything on the website, you can get a good discount using JW Racing. And I'd like to thank all y'all in the booth, broadcasting, Jacob Bell for the league, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
See you next week, Matthew. Have a good night.
Good night.
Right, that was Matthew Robinson there in the 40, finishing in the 3rd spot. Any final thoughts, Jake, Harold, before we head on out?
Man, I think that was exactly what we expected. No, I'm just kidding. That race was wild from start to finish, and I don't even really know where to begin, right? We saw so much chaos, really, is the best way to put it, and looking forward to tomorrow night's truck race and Wednesday night's Xfinity race. I think it's going to be something to watch out for.
Here's your race recap one more time, presented by Elwood Designs. Jordan Hurley gets the win, leading 16 laps here of the 110. Most laps was led by Eli Green with over 60, I believe 63. That's 63. Well, had 7 cautions for 26 laps. There were no shortage of caution. James Shinwolf had the fastest lap. It was a 30.403. And, yeah, a lot of carnage here tonight with a roll of dice 165. Final thoughts, Harold?
Oh, just, you said that we had probably the most cautions combined tonight out of all the series, pretty close. But I think tomorrow we're going to have more vehicles on the racetrack. Hopefully some of them are watching and seeing what they can do. But 3 and 4 wide is what I expect tomorrow here at Las Vegas. And looking for some more green flag pit stops. The trucks broke it up last time, so hopefully they can start their green flag pit stop streak again.
Yep, we are live tomorrow night from Las Vegas. Once again, it'll be Harold and Ken on the call for the Northern Capital Truck Series. They take on Las Vegas, under 20 laps there tomorrow night. And for this next race for the Swift Lifestyle Pro Series, we'll be going to Dover, under 30 laps there. Going to be an interesting one. And you can catch it all on the Uriah Twitch channel. From Harold, our executive producer, to Jake, my second-hand man, I am Hunter Sleppy saying so long, and we'll see you later.
What an exciting race brought to you by One to Go Studios. Here they come out of turn 4 to the white flag, and it's 1 to go. Thank you to all our sponsors, drivers, and viewers. We'll see you at the next turn.